Hey, Rick, overall, what'd you make of your outing tonight?
Hey, Steve. Yeah, it was definitely the first two innings was working hard to get in rhythm. Was up in the zone a little bit. Gave up some hard hit balls. Obviously, the two runs were scored in those first two innings, and then just worked hard to get the rhythm going and get the ball down, and we're able to get back into a better location with some of the pitches. And I thought Buff did a great job hanging in there with me. We played unbelievable defense. Those guys up the middle, Himmy and Guillorme were fantastic. So overall, I felt like we were able to kind of get on track and pitch relatively deep in the game and give us a chance to win. Unfortunately, we came up a little short. Those two runs early really came back to haunt us.
When you're in a situation like you were early in the game where you're you're getting those balls up, how do you go about trying to get yourself back into rhythm and ultimately doing so like you were able to?
Yeah, I mean, I think the most important thing for me, especially early in the game, trying to find my tempo is slow everything down. If I got to step off the rubber, take a couple deep breaths. If I got to take a little bit longer early in the game to kind of collect myself, then I will. And that's just, I just tried to keep stepping off, take a deep breath, get on track, get my body in the right position, execute pitches, and again, we gave up the home run to Turner the first at bat, and then the run in the ball that was hit down the line in the second inning. And other than that, I felt like we were able to get it on track and be pretty good. So it's just trying to slow it down.
Thanks.
Next question comes from Tony DeComo.
Hey, Rick, you mentioned Jimenez and Guillorme. What does it do for you when you get defense like that behind you, particularly on that double play in the fifth, to get a guy who doesn't really get doubled up ever?
Yeah, that double play was absolutely fantastic. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a double play turn that quick in the big leagues. I mean, they were lightning fast on that. Turner's probably one of the fastest guys in the big league, so it's huge. It gives you a lot of confidence to attack the zone. Induce contact, induce weak contact. You're not worried about pitching for the swing and miss because these guys are gobbling everything up behind you. So, it's a really nice feeling to be able to attack hitters. And if they hit it on the ground, we got a pretty good chance of making a play and getting somebody out.
Thank you.
Next question comes from Dave Lennon.
Hey, Rick, that's two really good starts for you back to back now. And, the rotation has struggled a little bit generally. Jake has come out and pitched pretty well. How much do you feel kind of the need to kind of step up and you guys have to finally kind of pull it together as a starting group to kind of stabilize things a bit after a bumpy start?
Yeah, it's important right now. It's one of those years where it's early, but it's not. We're creeping up on almost the halfway point of the season, and we really need to get going as a staff and be consistent and give our guys a chance to win every night. So for me, yeah, I want to, if we had a tough one last night, I want to be the guy that stops it and gets us back on the right track. And, rotation can gain momentum. One guy throws the ball well, the next guy carries off of that, and you can kind of get on a roll when guys are feeding off of one another. So that's our hope, and we'll keep working to get more consistent and give us a chance to win every night.
Thanks, Rick.
Next question comes from Justin Toscano.
Hey, Rick. You guys in a lot of your losses have been competitive and have been right there. In your experience in the bigs, how do you find that turning point as a team to kind of get over the hump with some of these?
It's been frustrating. We've lost a lot of close games and games that, with we get a ball to drop in here or there and make a pitch and we can win them. So it's one of those tough things because you're not playing terrible baseball because you're in those games. We just need something to get over the hump. And for me, over a 162 game season, you just keep going out there. You keep pressing, you keep pushing until you can break through. And the baseball season's it's peaks and valleys, and sometimes it doesn't roll your way, and you kind of just got to ride that storm out until you get some good things to happen, and then all of a sudden it's happening every night. So unfortunately, this is one of those years where we don't have a lot of time to wait for that to happen. But for me, that's been my biggest experience is just keep going. And especially right now, it's not like we're getting blown out every game. I mean, we're right there, and we just need something to get us over the hump.
Thank you.
Next question comes from Tim Britton.
Hey, Rick, just wondering, when you're up in the zone the way you were early tonight, what do you do to kind of reframe yourself and get it down, that sinker down the way you want it to be?
Yeah, I think being up is just a product of, I felt it a little bit in my first start. It's a product of just working too fast, trying to do too much a little, early. And sometimes you got to get out there and almost like feel out your rhythm. And when the ball's up, it's telling you that, I'm rushing out and my lower half is getting off the rubber and I can't get over my front side to get it down. So you do the best you can to make those adjustments in the game. For me, though, the one big thing is you never want to sacrifice competing to get yourself back on track. It's not a bullpen. Those guys are up there swinging the bats, and it's just that balance of making sure that you're doing the right thing. You're staying out of those zones where you can really get hurt by, and take it one pitch at a time until you get that rhythm going.
Thanks.
Thank you very much for your time this evening, Rick.
Thanks, guys.
Luis, your first question tonight comes from Steve Gelbs.
Hey, Luis. I know we've asked you often about the struggles with runners in scoring position. Tonight, especially early on, you guys had your chance those first couple innings. It's against Max Scherzer. When you look at those particular at-bats, were you happy with the at-bats and felt like Scherzer just was able to make his pitches when he really needed to?
I thought we took some good at-bats. I mean, we took, some deep counts. I think the pitch count was up to 60 after 2 innings or something. And, the guys were able to get deep in counts and create some traffic. I mean, draw some walks. We weren't able to get that big hit, start scoring early. But the guys, I thought they brought a good approach starting the game. You go against Scherzer. It's just, couldn't get that.
What'd you think of Rick tonight?
Threw the ball well. I mean, it's almost like a replica of his last outing. Tonight, a little bit more use of his slider tonight that I saw. Good feel for it. Front door sinker to the lefties. Pitching into some righties as well. He threw really well. I mean, he was in the zone. Did really good holding runners. I mean, just changing his holds and picking, and he pitched great today.
Louis, I know that before the game you said, the lineup was more about the fact that you wanted to give Pete a night off, and Ahmed had a bit of a stomach issue. But when you see the way that the middle infield defense plays behind Rick, does it at least make you think about, in these particular starts, trying to get them in there?
Yeah, those two guys play really good up the middle. I mean, it definitely gets you thinking of more playing time for those guys. In that combination, I think 3 double plays. That definitely those are momentum stoppers. So, those guys are really good up the middle. I mean, our infield's playing really good. Dumb play really good too. I mean, he went to cover second base, a heads up play to get that out there and get out of the inning. Where when they score their second run. So I thought we played really good defensively, and that's what we want to see more and more. So we can look for those guys having definitely more playing time to help us get better in that department.
Next question comes from Mike Puma.
Louis, just what's the swing of emotions when you lose? One game you give up 16 runs and you lose. The next night you come back and you hold them to 2 and you still lose.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, different ways, of losing ball games. Yesterday, like I said after the game, it was a quick to take the positive and we take some of the things that we can learn from it. I mean, tonight we felt that we played, really good baseball, fundamentally defensively, and the way Rick threw the ball and our relievers and some quality at bats. We didn't get the big hit, and that's something that's happened to us as well throughout the season with runners in scoring position or struggles. They've been real so far in the first 18 games. So that's something that we must get better. I mean, for us to win games, we got to drive in runs. We get on base. This team gets on base. It creates traffic. That's one thing that we got to take from this game, different from yesterday.
And the fact you didn't use Lockett tonight, does that mean he'll probably start tomorrow?
we still don't have a starter. Haven't been able to meet with the staff and talk about it and see what we're gonna pick and for to start that game tomorrow. So once we do it, once we meet and we talk and we study it well, we're announce it tomorrow or later tonight.
Next question comes from Justin Toscano.
Hey, Louis, a lot of your guys' losses this season have felt like tonight you've kind of been right there. How do you find that turning point to kind of get over the hump here in some of these?
We need to keep talking. We need to keep working. We need to keep communicating amongst ourselves to know what's going on. And we once again the runners with scoring position showed up tonight. We didn't get that big hit. And we need to talk about those at bats. I mean, these guys here are professional hitters, and that's why they create the traffic, because they take the quality of bats and they're able to get on base and create these situations. I mean, we got to finish it, and it's just one thing to stay consistent as a team, taking those at bats, and I know we're gonna be able to break through and drive in the runs that we need to win ball games.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time this evening, Luis.
Good night, guys.
Luis, your first question tonight comes from Steve Gelbs.
Luis, first of all, just a middle infielder. When you've got a pitcher on the mound like Rick, who tries to get contact, a lot of ground balls, how does that change the game for you, and how much more fun is it for you to play behind a pitcher like that?
I mean, when you play the infield, pitchers that get ground balls is always fun. You're in the game all the time. And I think Rick did a great job of giving us some plays today. So, like I said, guys that do that, it's always fun to play behind.
Trey Turner had never hit into 2 double plays in the same game in his career. When you guys are turning those particular double plays, is there an extra awareness of who's running down the first base line, and what is that challenge trying to double a guy like that off?
I mean, we always know who's running, and especially when you see Turner, everything's gotta be perfect. You gotta be quick. The flip's gotta be good. The throw's gotta be good. And I think we did that well today, and I think we did it at the place last time too. So that's what it is. You just gotta be perfect with it, and we've been doing that lately.
Next question comes from Tony DeComo.
Hey, Luis, just what has it been like to be a double play partner with Andres Gimenez? Obviously, he's impressed people since he's come up. What have you seen from him?
It's always fun to play with somebody that plays defense similar to you. I think we both have fun out there. We both lose, and we try to do the best we can behind our guys. And it's been fun those 2 games I played with them.
And also, just going back to last night really quickly, how much were you lobbying for that pitching appearance?
I mean, it's something in between being fun and not, because the reason I pitched is because of the way the game was going, but it just happens. I mean, nothing too much of it.
Did you enjoy I mean, obviously, like you said, you lost, so it's not ideal, but did you enjoy the experience of being out there?
I mean, yeah, I feel like everybody that plays baseball, position player, always messes around. So just getting that opportunity it's like I said, not the best situation, but you're always looking forward to doing that if it happens.
Thank you.
Next question comes from Ed Coleman.
Hey, Louis, when you've been up before and trying to find at bats, early in the season or when you come up, you've struggled offensively. What's the difference for you this year? You're obviously in a much better offensive playing.
I feel just the experience of it. I've been in this situation before, so now I know exactly what I got to do to be ready when I get that chance to play. So I think that's the main difference is I've been used to it, and I know exactly what I got to do to get there.
Next question comes from Justin Toscano.
Hey, Luis, you guys have lost a lot of close games like in the way you did tonight. How would you describe the mood around the clubhouse?
I mean, you're gonna lose some games. It's gonna happen, but we're still having fun out there. We're still playing at the best of our abilities, and we're gonna try to keep doing what we're doing and try to keep winning games.
Thank you.
Louis, thank you for your time this evening.
No problem.
This concludes the Mets post-game Zoom room.